Welcome back to Andersen Acres. We're out here with Arwen today because I wanted to talk about how to move your goats. Goats can be annoying to move because they don't move easily. They're not sheep, obviously, but sheep tend to flock. So you can walk up to a group of sheep with a shepherd's crook and kind of just herd them, and they tend to stay together. And so they don't have as many issues when it comes to moving a group of sheep as you do with moving a group of goats. Even a herding dog, they don't like trying to get groups of goats to move because they don't flock. And herding requires a flock instinct. So they can be really annoying to move. They tend to bolt and they tend to scatter, and they're real quick and they're real agile. So they're also really stubborn. All of that contributes and makes it really difficult to move goats sometimes. So goats don't like crossing water, for example. They really hate crossing water. They don't like crossing shadows. They don't like narrow openings. They don't like slippery surfaces. They don't like going downwind. They don't like going downhill. There's a lot of things they don't like. What do they like? Well, goats like moving from darkness into light, so you can use that to move them. They like going into the wind, and they like going uphill. So you can use those kind of things to move them. They hate loud noises, and they hate sudden movements. If you have fainting goats, loud noises and sudden movements can make them fall down, which is funny, but not helpful if you're trying to move your goat herd around your property. So it can be a little difficult if you have fainters. Goats that don't want to move will often just lay down and refuse to move. So that's kind of what she's doing right now. I don't actually need her to move, but I was asking her to move, and she's kind of like, nah, thanks. So that's why she's sitting here. Because goats that don't want to move, if you're trying to move them, they'll often just lay right down. That's what she did. So they really just flat out refuse to move. Now, she doesn't have horns, so I can't grab horns to move her. But they're not really that great a way to move goats anyway. You really shouldn't grab their horns. I know we all do it, but we really shouldn't. Because you can snap off the tips of the horns, and that can cause a lot of bleeding, and that's not great. Collars, notice she wears a collar there that we can hook a lead to. Collars or goat harnesses, goat or sheep halters work really well on them if your goat is large enough for them to fit. So sometimes little goats you can just pick up, but little goats tend to have a face that's too small for a sheep halter. But if you have sheep or goat halters, you can use those. You can also use, like I said, a collar and a lead. No problem. If you do have to use the horns to control the goat, grasp the horns from the base. Grasping from the base reduces the likelihood of breakage or stressing the horns. You don't want to stress the horns. Remember that stressed goats quickly develop health problems. So what you want to do is keep calm, don't lose your temper, get the goat to move by being patient, calm, and gentle. Give goats the time they need to want to move. Don't rush them. Be patient. A rushed goat is an upset goat. So be calm, be patient. Goats are surprisingly powerful. Sometimes people don't realize how strong these guys are because they look adorable and sweet. Of course she looks adorable and sweet. Look at that. Chewing her cud, happy as a little goat. But they're incredibly powerful creatures. So if you're dealing with an ornery group of goats, you might want to wear long pants, long sleeves, sturdy shoes, and a good pair of gloves. That'll help you handle your goats if you do have to kind of get them where you want them to be and they're not cooperating. If your group of goats is kind of on edge when you're moving them, don't let small kids help. Small kids could be run over by anxious goats. So again, you want to keep the kids safe. You want to keep the goats not stressed. So calm everyone down, remove the younger kids from the equation, and just move the goat herd with calm energy. Be calm, be patient. Goats are smart and have really long memories. Okay, really long memories. So treat them with patience and respect, and they will return the favor. The best way to get your goats to move, honestly, the very best thing you can do to get your goats to do what you want is to bond with them. Spend a lot of time with your goats so that they love you and they respect you and they want to be with you. Because if they want to be with you, then they're more likely to follow you. And that's actually the best way to get your goats to move, is to just get them to follow you. So either get the entire herd to follow you, or whichever goat is the leader of your herd, get him or her to follow you. Because that's honestly the best way to do it. So the best way to move sheep tends to be to herd them. The best way to move a goat tends to be to lead them. So spend some time bonding with your goats, whether you have 1 goat or 20, so that you will hopefully be able to get them to follow you when you need them to follow you. Because following you is the best thing for them. It's the easiest way to get them to move. It is less likely to involve any kind of stress or making them upset. Goats that are really upset tend to get digestive issues. That's not great. So get them to trust you and then lead them where you want them to go. It's probably going to go better than trying to force them and ending up with a bunch of stressed, overreacting goats. Or if you have fainters, they'll just all fall down. Anyway, that is about it for us here today at Andersen Acres. Good luck moving your herd. We'll see you tomorrow.